Hey up and welcome to Yorkshireman Models. Today we're going to be painting up the Tornado, but first off we're going to have to get some primer down on it, just to try and even it all out so it's getting a nice coat over everything. I'm using Valleyo primer, surface primer. It's the black one, as you can see. I wouldn't recommend using the Valleyo one if you've got any metal parts, because I don't think it sticks very well with them. And you'd be better off using a lacquer based one, a Mr. Surfacer or something like that. But yeah, I use this one because it's a cheap one and you get a heck of a lot of coverage for what you get. So I'm going to blast this down over it all, including all the small parts, and I'll speed it up so that you don't have to sit here watching it slowly ticking away. Right, I've been advised to try MRP paints, or mist paint, and for this I've bought the Gunship Grey, the light Ghost Grey and the Haze Grey, which is like dark, medium and light grey. There you go, check them up a bit, get a bit more colour back in, that's a bit better, you can see there. They're not fully mixed because look, still got some there, so I'll do the bigger shade, but I'm going to try these. Obviously medium grey, the haze first for the overall coat, and then these for a bit of weathering look. We'll see how they go. I'm hoping it's going to be as good as what they reckon online. I've had a look now and they reckon they're absolutely brilliant paints. To thin them a bit and make them lay a bit better, they reckon to use Mr. Colour levelling thinner. But a lot of people say you don't need any thinner with them, they're that good. But if I do, that's what I'll be using, the 400. Right, put my main coat down, MRP paint, and it is absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful paint, it sprays down lovely, dries quite quick, and it's got a lovely flat finish. I mean, this has not been left to dry yet, as in like, I usually leave them for a good 3 or 4 hours before I start messing again, but you can see there, it's only been on about 15 minutes. It's touch dry. I won't want to mess too much with it, but yeah, that's a really good paint. The only fault I've got with it, there's about that much there, about that much there, about the top of the W of the actual paint left. Maybe a little bit more, maybe closer to the M. Uses a lot, but then again, look at the size of the kit, and I've not just painted that you see there. There's all these, there's a couple of them being done. You've got obviously your cockpit pieces, all of the undercarriage doors and everything like that. It's all been done in this colour, so I suppose it has gone a long way, but at the same time, yeah, you'd probably get more if you had a bottle of tamiya and you thinned it to what that consistency is there, because you'd end up buying 2 bottles of tamiya for the price of one of these, because these are nearly £5. But it's brilliant paint. It's probably better than tamiya. What I did do as well, when I bought this paint, I got me sent a bottle of the MRP, or Mr. Paint as it's called, Mr. Paint, see. I got a bottle of their airbrush cleaner. In all honesty, I don't know what it is. It absolutely stinks. In fact, the paint smells a bit like when you're painting these lacquer paints from Tamiya. These smell like nut rake, horrible. But this proper smells. But boy, does it clean airbrush art. It's fantastic. I don't know if it'll work on other stuff, other paints, because they usually all come from different things. But whatever it is, it says it contains propan 2-ol methyl acetate, naphtha, and light fraction acetone. Whatever. But it's good stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, crack on with rest of painting of it. Right, she's done, as you can see. She's all painted, decaled, looks well. The decals, in my view, they're not bad. I mean, you can see here on this one, that one's gone down lovely. Absolutely fine. There's very little silvering on most of them, or carrier film as they call it. But if you look on this side, you can just probably make it out. Oops, there you go. I've gotten split there. It did break. A couple of them have broke. That one did, that long line there. But as you can see, it's gone back together nice. But I thought these were going to be a nightmare to get down, but they weren't. They were fine. All just about perfect. I've made one mistake here. I don't know how I've done it. I did place it over there. And what I've probably done is moved it by mistake with my finger when I've been figured, but it's been moved. It should have been like that one over the lump. But hey, these things happen. We get a lot of decals, and as you can see, they've gone down lovely. There's a bit of silvering on that one. Don't know if you can see. Seems to be mostly on these that are biggish ones with letterings and stuff like that, but most of them there's very little silvering, and hopefully the next gloss coat or and that for when I start weathering it will make it disappear. Quick look at some of these ones. As you can see, just bring it up a bit closer. Hopefully my camera will focus a bit better than what it is. There you go. And you can actually make out their names. Mr. Shoya and Wing Commander Brazzani. I'll say Mr. Shoya. It's Flight Lieutenant Shoya, but if I'm pronouncing their names wrong, you'll have to forgive me. And if I sound a bit nasally, I'm just recovering from COVID, so you'll have to give me a bit of a break with that one. The undercarriage areas, I've looked online and it's a very light grey, whitey grey bit, so that's the colour I've done it. This were MRP paints. I'll show you that in a moment. Okay. The missiles and bombs and whatever else, the fuel tanks I'll go over now. As you can see, these ones, they've all got lots and lots of decals. Lots of decals for them. Same way. These. And you can make out just about all of the right words writing on them. The sidewinders. Even where they fit on the aircraft. Lots of tiny little decals that you have to fit. Bit time consuming, but it's well worth it because it's really making it pop in my view, these decals. The fuel tanks, right, I've I've had it pointed out to me, and they're right. George Papoutsis, forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm really sorry. I'm not great with pronunciations, but he explained to me I've got the fins wrong on my actual fuel tanks, and it is correct, 100%. My problem is I've decaled them and painted it before I found out, and it's and I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything about them, because if I turn them round, all the decals are going to be facing the wrong way. So I think I'm stuck with them as they are like that now. But it's one of them. It's a minor thing. I mean, I'm not a perfect model. I never have been, never will be. I just model because I love it, and then I'll show you a lot because I just enjoy doing it. So, one kit now ready to go into the weathering stage. I will give it a quick blast with gloss nar over the top of the actual decals just to protect them, and then at the next stage you'll see me will be doing pin washers, the weathering, and then the final assembly, fitting everything together so we've got a nice looking, hopefully, Tornado for you all to look at. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've quite really enjoyed using these. It's been good. Oh, before I finish, I was going to mention the paints, wasn't I? Ah, there you go. Right, MRP paints. My thing of them, fantastic. Spray, absolutely brilliant. Lovely paints. Big bottle full, £5 a bottle. You think it's brilliant for what you're getting, £5. Doesn't really thin. Does a little bit, but not a lot. So you're not a million mile away from tamiya, in all honesty. You probably, because tamiyas, they'll thin a good bit, and it's £2, £2.50 a bottle. They're not far off the same amount you get in reality. But really, really, really good paint. Stinks like hell, but really worth it. The finish is fantastic, and compared to tamiya, which tend to rub off on the edges a little bit easy, these don't tend to. These tend to stick well and stay. And on that note, thanks a lot. Catch you laters.